Hi, this is Joshua Stallman at BrooklynComicShop.com, and here we are, a look at a new Golden Age collection that we just got in. What you're seeing is actually about 15% of the collection, everything from the 1950s. I'm going to show you how we got it, and then you can see right here how we're storing it. So the person that we bought this collection from, this was their childhood collection. They grew up in the early 50s, late 40s. They kept these for a while because they cared about them, obviously, but also these weren't terribly abused. They were definitely read as a child. And I'm going to show you some of the things that we have. You can see how they're being kept in a binder. And the binder is not the best way to do it. This happened probably about 15 years ago when they decided that they might want to sell these. They didn't do the research to look at how to take care of comics, but instead they just decided what they thought was best. And when you keep them in a binder, you're going to see a lot of damage to them, especially on the edges. So you can take a look. Some of these are not going to be so great in terms of warping on the spine. But in general, at least they did this instead of leaving them in piles. They did leave some in piles and they were massively warped. But I want to show you what we have from the collection. This is Adventures 204, 213. And it follows what people would like during that time period. So what you're looking at is a lot of Westerns. You're looking at a lot of Archie and Archie derivatives. Superman was insanely popular, so because of the television show, so that's what we find in this binder. Superman 71, Superman 97. And it just reminds me of how fun these are. But if you can take a look at the sides of these, some of these are going to be great, some of these are going to be pulled through. But with somebody who's a childhood collector, usually at least the stories are complete. They're usually not abused. This is a really nice condition one. They're usually complete. They're not abused. They're not cutouts. They're not scribbled all over. This was somebody still who cared about what they had. They enjoyed them, and they did their best to save them in as best a condition that they could. Superman Action Comics number 200. Just a lot of great titles. I'm not sure really how long to show you all of these. There's about 5 binders of them, along with a whole set of ones that were just kept in piles. Here we have, this is one of my favorite Action Comics stories that I actually bought as a child, although bought as a back issue. This is a little bit better condition than mine, so it's a really great story. You get Superman losing his powers. Here you have some of the early Batmans. This is number 98, number 100, number 108, and then a collection of Superboy. Some of these, I believe, are written by Jerry Siegel, who was the creator of Superman, and I think he made a deal in the 50s to work for DC writing Superboy. I'm not quite sure if these are the issues that he did, but they should be around that time. And they all have those fun stories. You know, here's Clark Kent getting shot out of a cannon, and then he's going to reveal that he's Superboy by accident. Here, everybody's wearing a Superboy costume except for Clark, because if he does, they'll all see that he really is Superboy. Flashback stories. Baseball stories. It's a good Kryptonite one. Early Jimmy Olsen. World's Finest. Then we have some 1950s Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was one of the highest, or at least the best superheroes of the age. This is Captain Marvel Jr. Getting a movie soon. Some of the other derivative sci-fi books, Captain Flash, Strange Adventures, an early one with chimps as astronauts. Wings is some of the military work. And what's fun about the military comics is they usually were worked on by people who served in that branch of the military. So I'm sure to what extent, but I'm sure that there was an illustrator who worked on the planes. And then some of the key issues you have. The first Lois Lane tryout book. This was done in Showcase. So before Lois Lane got her own series, they were trying it out, see how popular it was, and Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane became a hit after this. It's one of the gems from the collection. The other one that's really good is Superman number 76, which is the first Superman and Batman meeting. This is where they actually reveal their identities to each other for the first time. Superman 100. And some of the ones 101 after that. And number 102. So, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it was a little bit educational. Thank you for watching. And you can always visit us at Brooklyn Comic Shop for exclusive signed comics, vintage comics, action figures, play sets, and original art and prints.